Valentine's Day, a day when hearts beat faster, when love is celebrated. But for Arda, Valentine's Day became the day love returned from the grave. Before we continue, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel for more captivating African stories. Arda was 25, quiet, gentle, and known across her neighborhood for her kind heart and beautiful smile. She had always loved Valentine's season in Enugu. The streets around Ogui Road would glow with decorations, roadside vendors would arrange bright flowers in buckets, and restaurants would play loud music late into the evening. Every year, she imagined celebrating it with someone who truly cared for her. 3 years earlier, she thought she had found that person. His name was Emeka. Emeka was gentle, soft-spoken, and hardworking. He sold electronics at Artisan Market and had a smile that made Arda feel safe. They met at a cousin's wedding in Independence Layout, and from that day, they were almost inseparable. He would walk her home in Wani after church. He would bring roasted corn on rainy evenings. He would tell her, Arda, one day I will marry you properly in front of everyone. Then everything ended too suddenly. One evening, Emeka was traveling back from Onitsha after buying goods for his shop. The bus never reached Enugu. There was an accident along the expressway. By the time news got back to town, it was already too late. Arda did not believe it at first. She waited for his call. She kept staring at her phone. She even messaged him, typing, "Where are you?" as if he could still reply, but he never did. The burial was held in his village in Suka. Arda went, dressed in black, her eyes swollen from crying. She watched as they lowered him into the ground. That day, something inside her was buried too. Months passed, then a year. Slowly, life began to move again. By the 3rd year, Arda had tried to heal. She focused on her small tailoring shop near Kenyatta Market. She smiled more. She laughed again. People started telling her, "You are still young. Life must go on." And so, when Valentine's Day came around again, she told herself she would not sit at home crying. She decided she would treat herself. She cleaned her small apartment in Achara layout. She bought a new red dress from a boutique close to Park Lane. She even ordered a small cake that had "To Arda with Love" written on it. It was her way of choosing herself. On the afternoon of February 14th, as she arranged her shop before closing early, a dispatch rider stopped in front of her door. "Are you Arda Okeke?" he asked. "Yes," she replied, confused. "There is a delivery for you." She frowned. "From who?" The rider shrugged. It was paid for already. He handed her a medium-sized box wrapped in shiny red paper. Her heart began to beat fast. She was sure she had not told anyone about her small celebration. She signed and carried the box inside. For a long moment, she just stared at it. Then she slowly unwrapped it. Inside was a familiar black wristwatch. Her hands began to shake. It was the same type of watch she had given Emeka during their first Valentine's Day together. She remembered saving for weeks just to buy it. She even remembered teasing him, saying, "Now you have no excuse to come late." She turned the watch over. Engraved at the back were the words, "Forever, Arda." Those were her exact words. Her breath caught in her throat. Beneath the watch was a folded letter. Her name was written on it in handwriting she knew too well, Arda. She dropped into the chair behind her sewing machine. Her fingers trembled as she opened the letter. "My Arda, if you are reading this, it means today is Valentine's Day, and I'm not there to hold your hand. I know you will try to be strong. I know you will pretend you are fine. But please, do not let my absence stop your life." Arda could no longer breathe properly. Tears blurred her vision. The letter continued. 3 months before my trip to Onitsha, I arranged this gift with my friend Chidi. I told him that if anything ever happened to me, he should send it to you on Valentine's Day after some time has passed. I did not want you to remember me with only pain. I wanted you to remember that you were deeply loved. Arda covered her mouth. This was not coming from the grave. It was coming from a man who had loved her enough to think of her even in the possibility of his own death. She read on, "Please do not wait for me. Please do not close your heart. When you laugh again, I will be happy. When you love again, I will not be angry. I want you to live fully. That is my final Valentine gift to you. The letter was signed simply, Emeka. Ada cried for a long time that evening. Not the kind of cry filled with fear, but the kind that washes something clean. Later that night, her phone rang. It was Chidi. Ada, I'm sorry I never told you, he said quietly. Emeka made me promise. He prepared that package long ago. He was always thinking about you. Ada wiped her tears. Thank you for keeping his promise. After the call ended, she looked at the watch again. For years, Valentine's Day had felt like a reminder of loss. But now, it felt different. It felt like closure. That night in Enugu, as music floated in from nearby houses and couples posted their pictures online, Ada sat quietly by her window. She was still alone, but she no longer felt abandoned. Emeka's last gift was not the watch. It was permission to love again. And for the first time since the accident, Ada whispered softly into the quiet room, "Happy Valentine's Day." And this time, her heart did not break when she said it.